Ladies and gentlemen, after a 2-week hiatus, once again, you have hit PayDirt. I'm your host, Brandon Harry, a.k.a. Bdirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. What's good, Pay?
What's up, man? How you feeling, B? I mean, it feel like I ain't seen you in like a long time, maybe 14 days to be exact.
Yeah, it's been about that. My apologies to all the people. I thought we were going to be able to get on last week, and an airline to remain nameless may have they may have hurt my spirit a little bit, Pay, by not being able to get me where I needed to go in a timely fashion. That's all I'm gonna say.
It sounds like you're not even blaming that on the shutdown. It's just the airline's fault.
Yeah, the airlines made the boo-boos before the shutdown. The shutdown was just a piece de resistance, if you would. So, all kinds of fun stuff. But it is what it is. We apologize. And I owe the people an apology because 2 weeks ago, I did not get my gamble on, but last week I was 9-1. I was 9-1. I did some good things and I didn't share it with the people, and I apologize. It is what it is. I need to be held accountable, but listen, we're back. I feel good about this week. I got not a lot of good ones, but I got some good ones I feel really nice about. So without further ado, Pay, I'm going to let you take it over and drive the bus since I'm a little bit out of sorts.
Before we get started, B, I want everybody watching to go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you get that in there because it helps us continue to bring you this content. It ain't easy being cheesy. So without further ado, B, I think we should just go right into it. You say you're on a bender, right? You're on a hot streak. So let's talk about that one, B. Little heater. We like the little heaters. So let's go ahead and bring up the DraftKings board. Let's start off with college football as we usually do, and I will take the first one since we are going to get back into the swing of things. And the first game that caught my fancy here, B, San Diego State. They are 6.5-point faves against Nevada. I thought that was a little interesting. I think 6.5 might be a little rich. Maybe I'm a little out of my depth here about that one. Do you have any thoughts on San Diego State against Nevada?
So here's two teams I'm actually probably more familiar with than I would be at any point in time in the past. Let's say New Mexico actually it has been an interesting team this year. Going to Michigan, getting blown away. It was a pretty easy game for Michigan, but then turn around and beat UCLA by over 3 touchdowns. I really, they're hot and cold, right? So a little inconsistent for me. That said, I've watched a little bit of San Diego State last week. Who'd they play? They were on ESPN, right? Who was that? I can't remember who they played. But Jaden Denegal is their quarterback who came from transfer portal from University of Michigan. After watching his pocket presence, ease of throwing the ball, they have a lot of short, shallow crossing, stuff like that. I was wondering why he couldn't get into the game. Because Michigan couldn't pass the ball last year. I don't know if you saw that last year at all from us.
Yeah, I did notice that there was a little bit of I think the word would be vertical agnostic from the Michigan offense. Perhaps.
I think it's going to be a close game. I think these two teams are pretty evenly matched.
Really? So the line has went up since we started this. Well, since I wrote down on my notes to circle this game, it is now a 7.5 point spread in favor of San Diego State, who is on the road in Nevada. I am arriving at that same conclusion. I think this game is going to be a back and forth affair. Maybe not to the point where you can call it a shootout, because I do think that total is close to being on the nose. 41.5. I think this game is a 2017 type-ish game. I don't think San Diego State is more than a touchdown better than Nevada. That's just my opinion, but I'm going to go ahead and put on the slip there. Bdirt, any objections for that?
No objections to me.
No objections.
Especially
so Nevada,
at home, I like the hook.
Now, we say this every week. The hook is dangerous. So, Nevada, welcome to our initial slip. Bdirt, you go ahead. Tell me, what's the next thing you are looking at going into this weekend?
Well, we're going to stick with kind of esoteric teams, if you would. And I'm going to look at this South Florida at North Texas. And here's the reason why I'm going to look at it. North Texas has played teams, juggernauts that you may know as Lamar, Army, Western Michigan, South Alabama. Their best team they've played is Washington State, who is abysmal this year. Where you have a South Florida team that's beaten Florida, played the likes of Miami, have played some pretty good teams. I think they're a little more tried and true tested. I think they have a little bit more speed at the skilled positions, and I like them plus 1.5 to go to North Texas and win this game straight out. You
sold me on that one. You sold me very well. If anybody else, hopefully sold you as too.
In case you're thinking, I don't want to watch South Florida and North Texas. Can I talk you into it if I tell you the over/under is 66.5?
Fireworks.
Track meet. It's going to be a track meet.
Now, how much of that 66.5 are you thinking Florida will bring to the table?
I think they get into that 38 to 42 realm. I like them in this game, man. They're plus 1.5, but they're even money on the money line. Take the 1.5. Yeah, it is what it is. They're forced.
I like it. I like the 1.5. The 1.5 is very juicy. Anytime you have a team that's ranked, just be as most basic as you can. You have a ranked team as an underdog against an unranked team. I think that typically plays into your favor. You want this type of opportunity doesn't happen too often. I'm gonna take it just on the strength of it.
Yeah, I mean, South Florida's also beaten, Boise State, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They have beat up on the South Carolina states of the world as well, but they've played better teams. So for that reason, I like them.
This is a gack. So I like that you segued right into that. Boise State is hosting New Mexico, and they are 16.5 point faves total, 59.5. This is another one of those you got to do it. Boise State is not they're a pretty decent squad this year. I don't think they're going to I don't think you're going to have to see the bluegrass when it comes to bowl season, but however they're not a pushover. 16.5 is right in that juicy space. And B, we talked this weekend against what we're talking about live betting. This is one of those games you want to keep an eye on for in the live, because I got an inkling that North Mexico, this game is going to be close. New Mexico, I'm sorry, they're going to do some things to make that line come down during the game, and that's where you strike. That's where you strike, because I do think Boise State is at least 2 scores better than New Mexico. I think that's easy.
I think, listen, Boise's down this year for sure. New Mexico's also not good. Boise lost by 21 at Notre Dame. Notre Dame tried to do their best Boise impression wearing green on a green field, which was pretty cool. But in Boise, I can get down minus 16.5.
Oh yeah, I think the 16.5 is fair game, but I do not think they're going to come out the gate and run away with this. I could be wrong. So I think there's 2 ways to play this. One, I'm taking the 16.5 for us right now, and 2, I can definitely see this game getting away from New Mexico as the game goes on. But in the early stages, that line's gonna come down, probably to 12, probably to 10, and that's where you strike. You can make more money that way. I like basically what I'm saying. I like this game as a feeder for all your Saturday action.
So Tim here, 4 interceptions, 0 passing touchdowns. Says Boise was trash against Notre Dame. Agreed, but were they 4.5 points? Is New Mexico only 4.5 points? Excuse me, Notre Dame only 4.5 points better than New Mexico, because that's what the line is saying. Neutral field, you can make going from home to home, you can make 7.5 points. You can make that argument. I don't think they are. And I think we don't have 4 interceptions this game. I think they run the ball more. They're at home. They're on a blue turf. I'll take it.
Sagak. A couple of comments there I want to highlight. Tim Lyons, B, have you watched 5,000 hours of all 22 film? That's a yes or no, B?
It's a no.
That's a no. Only one person has those superpowers.
That's right. That's
right.
Wonderful. You want to get in any of these good games? We're both
to the
good
games.
Some weird ones.
Yeah, we are dumpster diving for the good cash. But B, we do. No one shows up to watch the ESPN 8 games, right? The Ocho. No one wants to watch the games on the Ocho. We do. We want to see the games with the guys, with the teams with the little number next to them. B, give me your top 25. What do you got?
Okay. So one of the teams outside of the top 25, one of them in, but it could push the second team in with a win at LSU in a night game. South Carolina goes to Death Valley. South Carolina's plus 8.5. I have no idea what was going on in South Carolina early in the year. I know Norris was banged up a little bit early in the year. They weren't playing well. They seem like they're starting to turn the corner now, and I think they have to have this game. Where I also think Mr. Brian Kelly's like losing a little bit of the team down there at LSU. LSU hasn't been playing up to their potential either. 8.5 points. I mean, LSU could still pull this one off. They don't have the ability to run the ball. So that, South Carolina can make them one-dimensional here. And Nussbaum just hasn't looked as good as we thought he was going in. I wouldn't be shocked if South Carolina pulls off the upset, even though it's hard to win there at night. But I definitely think they keep it within a touchdown. So I'm going to take South Carolina plus 8.5.
Yeah, I think you have competing arguments on this one. Both teams are coming into this game as they got to have it, right? Les Meyer, he's obviously not as good away from Jesus as he was when he was with Jesus. Shout out to Notre Dame for that one. especially when you go to a place like Death Valley. Like, come on, man. What do you think was going to happen? LSU does not run the ball well. You can ask their head coach. He might disagree with you. He might yell at you if you say that. But that is their Achilles heel. Can South Carolina expose that, or at least, make that weakness into a thing where it costs LSU a game? I'm not too certain about that. If both teams gotta have this game to save their season, I would probably lean towards LSU coming out with a pretty not sizable, but pretty emphatic win versus South Carolina. I think the reasons for LSU to do it are a lot more prominent than the reasons for South Carolina to do it. South Carolina can win. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I think they got to win to save face.
Because they do. Yeah.
Because let me just. I'm gonna go ahead and read off South Carolina's upcoming games. They're at LSU this week. Then next week they host number 6 Oklahoma. Then the following week they host number 8 Alabama. Then the following week they go to number 4 Ole Miss. Then the week after that they go to number 5 at Texas A&M. If you weren't paying attention, they're playing 4, 5, 6, 8, and 11 in the next 5 weeks. That's a gauntlet.
Sound like a pincushion type of team. So, yeah. This is going to be their easiest battle. This is going to be the easiest test in that stretch. And I don't think it's going to feel easy after the game. I think LSU goes ahead and takes care of business. I feel LSU can win this by 10.
All right. Well, then leave it off the board and go to your next one.
All right. We have our first disagreement on the show. All right. My next game, I have South Florida. Oh, no. We talked about South Florida already. And I forgot to mention, I do like the over in that game too. But I want to go to the favorite school of my home state, those Illinois Fighting Illini. So
I was fighting with this line.
Let me see if I can find it in here. Oh, it's not listed for some reason. I don't know why. But in any case, I have. You have it?
I had it. I'm looking.
Anyway. In any case, well, while we're still looking for that, because I don't know where our DraftKings doesn't have it on the board right now. But anyway, I did want to come back to this game too. There's a big game in the Big Ten. Well,
yeah, it's a noon game. Ohio State at Illinois. Illinois is plus 14.5. Over under is 49.5.
I like Illinois to keep that closer than a 14.5. Ohio State isn't your grandfather's, daddy's, brother's Ohio State. This Ohio State is very vulnerable. Yes, they are still good. 14.5 good over another Big Ten school that's not named Penn State. I don't know. You have to prove that to me. Right now, the line is 14.5. Right now, I'm taking Illinois. Yes, Illinois did get their doors blown off by Indiana. Yes, but they've responded to that with back-to-back wins and convincing. Let me not use that word convincing, but they've won games. If Illinois loses this game, no one would care. It's Illinois versus Ohio State, but Illinois is not getting blown out again. They're not going to lose by 14.5. I'm taking Illinois to cover that.
I don't mind it. I didn't have it, but I don't mind it. We can proceed with it on the slip.
Yeah, we'll just make a memory note of that one. The other Big Ten game that I was speaking about,
the big Big Ten game.
The big one. And no, again, we're not talking about Penn State because big and Penn State, big game and Penn State does not belong in the same sentence. Indiana at Oregon. It's going to take me a while to get used to saying Oregon's in the Big Ten. But Oregon, 7-point faves at home as they welcome Number 7, Indiana, the Cornhuskers. Is that their name? No, that's not their name. It should be their name. Total
Indiana
55 and a half.
Hoosiers?
Hoosiers, Cornhuskers. Hoosiers is a basketball thing. The football team needs to be named something different. But B, you are our resident Big Ten aficionado. You are all over the map watching Big Ten games. Oregon, you got a very in-depth opinion about them, as you do with Indiana. Should Indiana be a touchdown dog on the road to Oregon?
I don't know about that one. So it's tough to go all the way across to the West Coast and play. So far over the past 2 years, the Big Ten has not favored well going to the West Coast and play. This is a 3:30 game. So at least they got that going for them, because it's going to feel a little more like a normal start time to their bodies, if you would. To me, this game right here is all about quarterback play. Fernando Mendoza from Indiana looks like the truth. I mean, they're putting up some serious numbers. You've already seen what Oregon's been able to do as far as putting up numbers against beloved Penn State, which also now doesn't look as impressive, right? But they also, you're talking about two guys in the talks right now for the Heisman Trophy conversation. So they have Dante Moore, who a little bit more of a mobile quarterback, a little bit more of a gunslinger for Indiana. I tell you what I like on this one, if you already haven't seen the writing on the wall, over 55 and a half. I feel like this one's going to be in the 60s. Lickety split. No problem.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel that Oregon can do some damage, and we, as I mentioned earlier, Indiana hung a large number on the forehead of Illinois. Put a bunch of inches right there on their forehead. One thing I'm certain about this game, it can go either way, but the scoring is definitely going to be there. I like the over in this one more than anything. I agree with you there. Scoring into the 60s.
We're in lockstep on that one.
Yes, we are. All right. We got a little bit more time for a couple more amateur games. What do you got?
Man, I gotta be honest with you. That read my board off. I'm done.
You're done. All right. So the last one I had was Navy and Temple. So whoa, my screen disappeared. So I think Navy is favored in this one by 10 points. Over under is 53 and a half. I do like the Seamen to go ahead and swim their way to a big win here. This is one of those.
What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
All
right.
I believe it's the midshipman.
Oh, that's what they call them now?
I believe
back
so.
In my day. Oh, okay. Back in my day, the swimmers, they were not very good in football, but now it's a new age. The what you call it, midshipmen. I do think this would be one of those games that you don't have to worry about too much. I think Navy can handle Temple with pretty much ease going into their building. I like the over in this game, and I do like Navy to cover. Easy same game parlay if that is your flavor. That's all I have for Saturday's action. B, you want to go ahead and take a break real quick, and let's go back and talk about grown man football.
Tim also said Seaman. I know some guys, friends of mine that were in the that were in the military. I've never heard them called seamen. I have heard a couple of jarheads called them Ubers before. But I'm neither here nor there.
Jarheads, those are the Marines, right?
Marines, sir.
All right. So you got jarheads, you got seamen, and you got what do they call the guys in the Army?
I'll let Tim answer that one. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, we can while we're figuring that out, go ahead and take you a sip of coffee, do what you got to do. We'll be right back on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go too far, because when we come back, we got some really good betting analysis to give you on the pro football game. So give our sponsors a good listen, and we'll be right back on the other side of this break. Welcome back to PayDirt, your weekly show where we're trying to build that perfect 6-leg parlay to bring you some happy and joy along with your football weekend. So, B, we talked backstage about some other sports that you were interested in throwing in your parlay. Before we get started with NFL, do you want to shout those out real fast?
That I already have parlays on. But last week I hit UFC parlay. Thank you, Mr. Pereira. Listen, when you are, yes, Tim Lyons, the Army is a hero. Sure, yes, that's correct.
Only hero I recognize is the sandwich.
But listen, when you have two fighters that are great fighters that are fairly evenly matched, I always give the betting favorite to the one that I know has brick hands, the ones that I know that can touch you, put you to sleep. So that's what I did, and it worked out really well for me. Nice little parlay, 3-leg. I bet each leg individually, sewed it up into a nice parlay, and it worked out real well. I do have the Las Vegas Aces to win the WNBA championship. I did that before they started playing, so that was nice. It's going to be a nice little chunk if they seal the deal up now with the 2-win lead they have. And I took the Tigers today. Now, I want to wait and see what this line is, but the Tigers are going back out to Seattle. Tarek Skubal is going to be hard to beat. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. So if I can get the right number around there, if I can get a Tigers plus 1.5, I'm probably on that, because I don't think they lose by more than 1 if they lose.
So you're saying you prefer the guy that can whose hands can put the guy to sleep. Shout out to Epstein. All right, so with the NFL Week 6 there, B, I've got a lot of games that I like, but as you are my guy, you're my bro, and you typically love to start with Thursday Night Football. You like to get the weekend going early. Philly and New York, is there anything betting out of this game other than the obvious Philly's going to win?
I mean, to me, two teams not playing very good offensive football right now. You know, the Eagles look out of sorts. They have an identity crisis. They're arguing amongst each other. It's just, I don't know I don't even know what to make of them anymore. And that's a team that's won 20 of their last 22 or something, and they just seem out of sorts. I'm very confused. I think they need to get back to running the ball. Maybe look at the rushing props with Saquon Barkley, because I think they need to feed him this one.
Yeah, the pass props is what jumped up the page. So Jackson Dart is averaging 78 yards per game right now. Jalen Hurts is averaging 177 so far. Not very. If you're an overs guy, it's not leaving you with a lot of convincing with those averages. Jackson Dart, they're protecting him as a rookie quarterback. They're doing a lot of running routes. So if you wanted to do as B said, look at the rushing props, you probably want to go towards Scatterboo's line and take a gander that way. Currently, right now, his rushing yards over under for Mr. Scatterboo is 48. I like that. Saquon is having a down year right now because, as B said, identity crisis. He's not really doing what you expect to do out of a Super Day, and you probably could have assumed there's going to be a regression this season for Mr. Saquon because they traded for a running back. They also had Shipley, and Shipley's no slouch either, so they was going to ease up on their highly paid running back one, but 53 and a half for. So, well, I'm sorry. The over under for Saquon right now is 86 and a half. The over under for Scatterboo is 48 and a half. Between those two, I like Saquon's. I like Scatterboo's a lot better than Saquon's, just because I know they're going to run a lot to try to protect and save their rookie quarterback. Even if it's unsuccessful. And the other thing we know about Cameron Scatterboo, he just throws his head into players. So doesn't matter if he's getting stumped, he's just gonna keep burrowing through. So I do like the over there, and it just changed on us. It's now 47 and a half. Get it while it's good. B, anything from you from the rushing side that entices you?
I like the argument you made. And
there's, Tyrone Tracy, he's still dealing with some injuries as well. So you won't see a lot of snaps going his way. The argument is just for Cam Scatterboo getting a lot of touches. So if you want to be a little headsy about this, if you want to be a little heady about this, I would not even look at the rushing totals for Cam Scatterboo. I will actually go towards the rush plus receiving yards, and that is plus 70 right now for the line for Cameron Scatterboo. I think 70 is easy money, but I will actually bet it down to 60. But it's still a decent line at 162. So minus 162. That's a good one. That's the way I'm thinking about that one. Same thing for Saquon Barkley. His line is right now plus 110. His line right now, I'm sorry, for 110 total yards. I mean, rushing and receiving. It would have to be 110 plus, and that is minus 107 on DraftKings at the moment. Some other props. We got the receiving props. As you know, I'm going to push away from this, as B said. Identity crisis galore in Philadelphia. I do not trust Jackson Dart to throw the ball for much success against this Philly defense. He definitely hasn't proven it. And if Philly can do anything, they can stop some offensive continuity that they're going against for their defense. But Philadelphia, their offense pushed away from the table. I'm selling at everything: fantasy, survival, betting. They have the most 3-and-outs in the league. B. Cincinnati has gone 3rd-and-out less than Philadelphia Eagles have. I don't want anything to do with this offense. Not AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, none of it. Even Saquon.
Glad I don't have any of those guys on any of my fantasy teams.
And why would you? You're a smart guy. But if anybody you do, if you know anybody that does, side eye. All right. So we expect Philadelphia to win this game. We expect them to cover. But do we want to put that in our parlay, B?
I do not. Don't trust either one of them.
All right. I'm also going to follow. I
smell a backdoor cover. That's the meaningless backdoor cover.
Wouldn't shock me at all. And plus, Philadelphia hasn't shown you that they can just go ahead and handle their business outright because the offense is all the way terrible. So you heard it here. We both agree. Do not trust that huge line from Philadelphia. All right. We have another one of these London games, B. How do you like these 9:30 starts for football Sunday?
You know, half the time I'm traveling back from Michigan, it doesn't hit with me. As far as betting them, I always find it odd. I feel like it evens things out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But in the case of the Jets, I can't be talked into that. I can't be talked into you can't. I don't care about the hook.
Well, you know, speaking of backdoor covers, they did backdoor cover a few times this season. I haven't won a game, but 7.5 with Denver Broncos. We talked about funky offenses. Denver has a funky offense. I trust their rushing offense. Their passing offense leaves a lot to be desired. Can they cover 8 points? I don't know, especially when you look at that total, 43.5. I know what the Jets are going to do. They're just going to run the ball with Justin Fields. I know Garrett Wilson's going to get a lot of targets, so I expect him to have. I'm leading into my next bet. I expect Garrett Wilson to have at least 5 catches, in that range, because he is one of the. I think he's top 5 in targets because Justin Fields locks in on his number 1 read and he doesn't come off. Just me knowing Justin Fields. Other than that, I don't see anything else from this game. I don't want to wake up and be locked into this game just to see if the Jets are going to cover that 7.5. Not how I want to start my day, but I will take Garrett Wilson to get. I'm gonna go at the line. 6 catches. He averages 6.5 on the season. As I said, he's one of the top 5 guys in targets. So I expect Justin Fields to feed him. And I expect them to be down. I expect them to have a negative game script. And I expect the ball to go into Garrett Wilson's direction. I'm liking that. So, B, you already said you do not like that game. I do not like it either from an entertainment and a betting standpoint. But in the 1 o'clock window, what are the games that you are interested in?
Listen, I know they're a little bit maligned. Some injuries at running back, some injuries at offensive line. The Chargers, after starting off looking like one of the best teams in football, have fell off a little bit. Do you know what just gets you right? Miami Dolphins defense, man. And for me to bet a team coming from the West Coast to the East Coast playing a 1 o'clock game, my guy, it's got to be bad. That Dolphins defense, I don't know. They had Dowdle looking like Jim Brown over here. You know what I mean? I think the Chargers, even though, listen, waiver wire, I tried to pick up Haskins in three leagues. I think they're going to be able to run the ball regardless of who gets the rock here. I think they'll be able to do some things. Chargers -4.5.
I do like the Chargers as a get-right game, but when you ask the question, what's the thing that heals you if you're licking your wounds? A trip to Miami, even if you're not playing football, a trip to Miami, Latina on Oceans Drive, that heals me. I'm healed up from that point. So, as you said, the rushing props in this game are. Well, they don't even have Haskins here yet, but they do have. Wait a second. They do have Devon A-Chain as I don't know what's going on with DraftKings. In any case, I do like where you're going with that. I like where your head's at with that one.
NFL props are locked up right now. It's weird.
Yeah. I like where your head's at. I like Haskins to be featured early and often against this game. I expect Miami to be in a negative game script. By the time there's 5 minutes left in the first half, Miami, even though they're just a sinking ship. They're
Yeah.
probably going to fire their coach within the next month, sometime in October. It's spooky season down there, so I'm not very confident
I mean,
in what
they're talking
Miami
about
can
the
do.
GM's head. They're talking about the,
Well,
coaching.
he's been there long enough.
Fires, and like I said, I mean, I think Seattle is a better team than Jacksonville. I think they're playing better, even though Jacksonville just won that game in spite of themselves against the Chiefs. The Seahawks, yeah, but there's zero chance that they should have won that game. But they did. They got lucky and they won it. It happens in the NFL. The ball's not shaped around. But the Seahawks are better than Jags. But I don't take the Seahawks because they're traveling across country playing a 1:00 game. The Dolphins are bad enough that I don't care. I take the Chargers and I get right here.
I like where your headset. This will be our first one as on the actual game line. I like the Chargers to go ahead and win this game outright. No Tariq Hill. Jalen Waddle is where is he at? He's where's Waldo right now. And Tua, get him out of here. Chargers, 4.5. Easy money.
27-17.
I like that. So, also in this window, I talked about Garrett Wilson being a lock. Oh, I didn't say that word. But I like his opportunities to get catches. Just because his quarterback targets him early and often. You know who else gets targeted early and often, B?
Puka.
I'll give you one guess. They call him Puka. Puka Nakua. Yes, he is a reception machine. Reception machine, I tell you. He averages 7 catches a game. And that is exactly where we're going to target this line today in this game. Also, 7.5. They don't have that on there either.
Yep.
Anyway, so
this is one of the other
Puka
ones I
Nakua.
was looking at. I like Puka. I like, and I don't know why they're not coming up. We're having problems with DK not pulling these up. We have. I also like George Pickens. I like his line. I thought his line was set. I thought Emeka Ibuka's line was too low. There's some receiving lines out there I like this week.
Oh yeah,
but I'm leaving them low because
DraftKings
has got me tied up. But look into those. It could be nice and juicy.
Write that down. Emeka Ibuka. He is far and away the offensive rookie of the year right now. He is. While Mike Evans is out, even while Chris Godwin is out, Baker likes him. But I'm gonna stick to this game every week. I'm targeting Puka's reception line. I don't care where it's at. I'm gonna even if I don't feel too confident and I got to bet it down, it doesn't matter. I like him for 7. I like him for 11. He's just he's automatic. Matt Stafford and the rest of them guys, they're gonna put the ball in the air because you can't trust the running game too much with the LA Rams. The other LA team, they know they're going to pound the rock. Kyron Williams, he hasn't had the best start to the season.
Well,
Blake Corum, he's been.
Have you got to watch them much?
Yes.
I think a lot of the things they've had some fumble problems. Both.
That is it.
Both backs, and it just seems like the trust issue. I think McVay's got more trust in Stafford right now than he does in the ball security of his 2 running backs. Even though the running backs I think are both good.
Yeah, I think when Blake is in the game, I think he gets more yards per carry than Kyron does. But he, like as you said, he had a critical fumble. He had a couple of other miscues in this Thursday night game. Kyron blew the game, putting the ball on the turf twice. It looked like. It's just, I think the way McVay is wired, the hitting on what he knows is safe is where he's going to go, and that's Puka. So if anything out of this game that I take, it would be Puka over 7 catches. Now, the actual game itself, LA is going to Baltimore. We talked cross-country flights never work out great. This is one of those. This is a 1:00 game, right? Yes. They're 7.5-point faves. I'm not going to make the argument for Baltimore right now. I want to, but I'm not. At least not until I see their full injury report. Baltimore's defense is on track to be the worst in their franchise history. 30 years of franchise defensive dominance. And this year, coming into a year where you thought the defense is going to be stellar, and they look everything but. Oh, nice, gave up a home run. Anyway, all right. So while I do not like the fact that the LA Rams are traveling cross country for an early kickoff to play Baltimore, I'm not taking that as an assurance for Baltimore to cover. I don't want anything to do with that line whatsoever. I'm gonna stay away from that one.
Agreed. There's only one other 1:00 game that I have any interest in the line whatsoever. So, on the homies last Friday, all three of us take the Giants to beat the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And the Saints win. And what's the recipe there to for the Saints to actually win a football game? They have to be gifted 5 turnovers.
Oh, okay.
I don't see a Vrabel coach team in the Patriots going in and giving them the ball 5 times.
Wait a minute. Didn't the Vrabel coach team give the Steelers the ball 5 times?
Steelers have a different defense than the Saints do. I'm going to say the Steelers can cause a few turnovers, where I don't think the Saints are going to do that. I'm just saying I think the Patriots are playing better ball right now. I expect them to go down and take care of business against the Saints -3.5.
I think that line of 3.5 is there for a reason. I don't think the Patriots are playing better ball. I think they just came off a big win. Sidebar: I hate you, Buffalo. Anyway, I don't think the Patriots are as good as a lot of people assume them to be coming into the season. I think they are a little bit down from where they should be. We talked about turnover. We talked about
wait, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you say you think that they're being overvalued or blown, and not as good as, where do you think they are? Let's just look at the 17 game schedule. How many wins do you think they have?
How many wins they should have at the end of the season is what you're asking?
Yep.
I think the talk for them to be a 9-10 win team.
I would say 9. I'm solid with 9.
Yeah.
8-9, 9-8. A good year, I think, is 10-7. That's where I would put them.
And the way they started the season has been,
where do I put the Saints?
A little. Well, we all know where we put
3 or 4.
The Saints in the arch. All right, in the Arch Manning Bowl.
Surprised by 2. So what are we arguing about? 3.5 points. That's worth 3.5 points to me. I'm taking it all day.
Yeah, but at 3.5 again, things we talked about. Watch the hook, fumbles. Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Henderson, they've put the ball on the turf, and playing up to your normal. The normal for the Saints, we all know they're a bad team. They're also coming off a big win, just like the Patriots. I would be cautious against that hook. This game could be a 2-point. This game could be one on a last minute field goal to go up by 2. I'm just saying, I would be cautious against this game. Not convinced whatsoever, but we're gonna I'll put it on the slip as a lock it in for Bdirt. Let's see. Anything else? You said this is the last thing you were looking at in this window, right? Pittsburgh should beat Baltimore. Should beat Cleveland easily. Yes or no?
I don't trust either of those teams.
Me neither. I don't even like that total. Looks very suspicious. Don't like it. 37.5. Get out of my face with that. That looks like something I do not want to watch. Jacksonville, Seattle. Ooh. In this game, I do like JSN. Wherever, let's see if they show us his receiving totals. But
They weren't earlier. They
I
wouldn't give them to
would
me.
definitely. Well, yeah, it's not even they don't even have a tab up for it. In any case, I do like JSN's wherever, if you can find it. JSN receiving totals. I like the over 5 for that. And Jacksonville, they're a little hard to gamble against, just because they win games in different ways every week. But in this game, I would lean towards Jacksonville winning outright. Again, long flights, B. All right, 4:00 window. We got Vegas hosting the Tennessee Titans in a snooze fest. We got your Cincinnati Bengals going to the Packers after the Packers had their bye week. We got the medical unit, the MASH unit, going to Tampa Bay to play the, I guess, the leading MVP candidate right now in Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield. And yeah, that 4:00 window has some interesting things there. So where should we start, B?
Well, let's see. You got one trash game with 2 trash teams. You got one trash game with 1 trash team. You got 2 pretty good teams playing. I'm staying away from this Bengals-Packers game. I think that line's pretty spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that at all. But I will say this. 49ers traveling across the coast after a good win where I saw their backup quarterback hobbling all over the field. Man. MASH unit, I got to take the Bucks here -3.
I do like the Bucks as well, -3. They I heard an interesting stat that they're in the first team in NFL history to start off with 4 wins, all with in their what was it, last second wins or something like that. They are a fun watch. Baker is a fun player to watch. Like we talked about earlier, Emeka Egbuka, he is a drill. He is drilling DBs in the most pleasant way to watch when you're watching football on a Sunday. So I like his overs. I think the line was probably at 5.5, 6 or whatever for Emeka Egbuka. I would take that. In this game as well. I like the Buccaneers to go ahead and win outright. I'm not going to play with that spread. We do like the Packers to go ahead and win that game too. The spread is interesting at 14 right now. And I'm not going to even talk about the Tennessee Titans and the Vegas Raiders. So 2 more games left in a week. Actually, no, there's 3. There's a double. There's a double Monday Night Football. Why would they? Oh my Jesus! NFL, get it together. Okay, 3 more games. Primetime game. We got Detroit Lions at Kansas City Chiefs. The line is 2.5. Over under is 52.5. Have the Chiefs saved their season? Are they back? Are the Chiefs back?
You know, even though they lost, I think the Chiefs are proving that they can push the ball down the field a little bit more. They have Rashee Rice coming back. I think that helps them. Weird line here, man. -2.5, Chiefs favored at home. So they're saying this is a pick'em game on a neutral site. So far, the Lions have played better than them. But the Lions will be without Terrion Arnold, so they're going into some depth in the backfield that may end up hurting them. This is a push away from the table game for me because something's fishy.
Not for me. Earlier when we talked about, and we were doing our college football segment, you love to see the ranked team be the underdog against an unranked team. This is the same thing for me. If this was college football, I wouldn't have the Chiefs ranked. I have the Detroit Lions ranked in the top 3, and they're the underdog. I like that. I'm going big fish hunting right here. Give me the Lions to cover the 2.5.
If I were going to bet it, that would be the way I would go.
All right. You like the over in this? You like the over, the under? 52.5. I mean, that's.
I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid too.
28-24.
I want to see the Chiefs do it one more time. I want to see their off. I want to see if their offense is back. I don't know yet, but I do know the Lions. They can still score. Who Ben Johnson? Who don't matter. All right, we got 2 games on Monday. Bills at Atlanta. Get the Atlanta Falcons out of my face. Get the Bills out of my face. They cost me a comma. And yes, that means I hate them for life for what they did to me this past week. But I got to be I got to be objective here, B. Is there anything from this game that is enticing to you? The Bills are a 4.5-point fave at the total at 49.5.
I mean, the reason why they're only a 4.5-point favorite is the same reason why the over-unders set at 49.5. Because the Bills' defense is not playing very well. It's going to be a 30-21 game or a 28-24 game. It's going to be right in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But the Falcons also laid a complete egg against the Panthers. I don't know. This young quarterback, bad defense. Who wins out? I have no idea, man. This is Jekyll and Hyde to me. I pass.
As I said, I hate both of these teams right now. So I am also going to pass because there's only one Monday Night Football game to me this game, and it is this game right here. Bears at DC Commandos.
Pass.
Bears are 4.5-point dogs going to DC. Total 49.5, just like the other game. So
I'll defer then.
I am all in on this game. I've got units set to the side just for this game right here. Let's see if they even show us the props, because I got some proppies for this one. So I'm not going to bet the game as it is. I think that 4.5 is pretty fair. I think this game is going to be right in that field goal range. I would love to say the Bears went outright. However, let's do something a little bit better for everybody that's paying attention. So I like the passing props here for Jaden Daniels. Well, I don't even have him showing, but typically they have the line for Jaden at 185-ish, and they have it for Caleb at 200. I like them both to go over that. The rushing for this game would probably be where you find their most sauce. The Bears are a terrible rushing defense. In fact, if they continue on this path, they would be the worst rushing defense in the history of the NFL. They are giving up 6.1 yards per carry. You heard that right, 6.1 yards per carry. Jackson Merritt, whatever, Crosby, or however you say his name, he had a career game against the Chargers last week. Can he redo that again against an even worse rush defense? I would say yes. I would trend in that way to take his overs, whatever they may be on DraftKings. I like Roma Dunze to get 5 catches. Well, no, I like a Roma Dunze to get 60 yards receiving. I like Deebo Samuels to have, for his combined rush and receiving, I like that to be over 70 yards. So there's a lot in this game that I could take from it. But if you're just only interested in who wins, who loses, I'm going to give you my completely biased opinion. Bears cover.
All right. I appreciate you throwing in that was biased.
Yeah.
A little truth in advertising.
Yes, you know it. You know me. I'm a truth teller. All right. So as the Cubs have 2 men on, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th with a 1-run lead, we gotta shake it. We got 14 picks on the slip right now. All right, so let's go our quick recap. We got Nevada plus 7.5, South Florida plus 1.5, and I like the over in this one too. I didn't put it on there. Boise State minus 16.5. over 55.5 for the Indiana Oregon. Navy -10, over 53.5 for the Navy Temple game. Over 47.5 for Cameron Scatterboo's rushing yards. Over 6 catches for Garrett Wilson. Chargers 4.5. Patriots -3.5. Jacksonville Jaguars went outright, same as the Tampa Bay Bucks, same as the Green Bay Packers, and the Detroit Lions cover the 2.5 spread. B, where should we start?
Well, let's get rid of the same game parlay with Navy. No one's going to watch that game.
No one's watching that trash. All right. That's out of there.
All right. So out of Nevada, South Florida, Boise State. We should get rid of one of those. Which one's your least favorite?
Least favorite to me, to be honest with you, it would be Nevada. I like Florida. As I said, I like South Florida as being the better team, as the underdog. I like the over in that game. So yeah, I would take Nevada up out of here, bring that down to 11.
I like that.
The other college pick we have on here is the over for the Indiana Oregon at 55.5. So if we're going to do, if we were to do the 3 and 3,
let's just leave those three for now. Let's just leave those three for now.
Got it. So let's go to the NFL. We've got a lot. I'm going to just bring up the ones you say you do not like. You do not like Detroit Lions +2.5. You do not
Packers.
Like
here's the thing. Packers.
Jaguars.
Hold on a second. Packers money line. No juice.
Mm-hmm.
There's no juice.
You're right. There's no juice in it. No juice in that. That's stealing money. A little bit of money that it is.
Stealing pennies is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go to jail for stealing pennies.
If you're going to go to jail, make it worth it. Well, I mean, no, that's terrible advice, because if it's worth it, you're going to be in the wrong division. Don't want to do that either. All right. So that leaves us with Garrett Wilson's over, Cam Scatterboo's over, Chargers to cover 4.5, Patriots to cover 3.5, Jacksonville Jaguars money line. They play in Seattle. That's a tough one. I think I want to get rid of that.
Let's take the Jacksonville off, and then scoot up from that. Go up. Let's take the Chargers -4.5 out. For the same reasons why I made the arguments, traveling across country, whatever. I like them, but let's use our brain, and that's always against you.
I thought that was probably our safest one, but okay. How about this? All right, so we're down to 8. We gotta get rid of 2 more. B. What will it be? Detroit, Tampa Bay, Patriots. I think the Patriots are safe. I mean, that's a safe play. 3.5 at the Saints. Even though I'm cautious about that, I'm going to leave it there. As far as everything we have here, I think that's the safest one.
Scatterboo, because he might be in concussion protocol after the first series.
Dang it. It's possible. But let's go ahead and move it out. Bet it separately. All right. Yeah, we'll get rid of one more, man. We got Detroit Lions +2.5. Buccaneers outright win.
I'm not mad at any of these.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know it's tough.
But let's go to that Bucks -3 or Bucks money line.
Bucks money line.
The Bucks were -3.
Mm-hmm.
So we're giving ourselves 3 points. So I think that's easier than. To me, it's down between Detroit +2.5 or the over 6+ catches. What are your thoughts?
I would agree. Garrett Wilson he probably will be locked up against Surtain. I'm not saying Surtain will get the best of them, but against which one has the least has the opportunity to blow up in my face, it would be Garrett Wilson. So go ahead and remove that one. That gets us down to 6B. Odds of 4,019 on this 6-leg parlay. It's good money. I mean, it's good juice. That's South Florida plus 1.5. Boise State minus 16.5. Indiana, Oregon over 55.5. Patriots minus 3.5. Bucks went outright, and Detroit Lions plus 2.5. It's good money.
For sure. For sure. And I like it. I like it again.
All right, B, this has been fun. I want everybody who has not done it yet to like and subscribe wherever you're watching this show. It may just be something benign to you, but it means the world to us. B, I know you got to get out of here. You got to tell the world about running through the jungle. You got a big game coming up against those Green Bay Packers. I also got to recap this amazing NLDS game. So with everybody, make sure you do that little bit of homework, like, subscribe, share a friend, share with a friend, share with an enemy, download, re-download, erase, and download again. And also make sure you come back next week where you can tell us all your good stories about how much money you made, and we will try to do this one more time and reach PayDirt.